welcome to Artists on the Rise. Today we're here with another special guest. You may have recognized him from I Can See Your Voice. Here with me is Caleb Minter. What's up?
Yo, what's good? What's good? Thank you for having me. Thank you for having me on your show.
Definitely. Super excited to talk to you about what you have going on, what kind of projects you're working on, what kind of music we can expect from you. It's been a minute. So I just want to start us off with you sort of telling us who you are and the type of music that you make.
I am Caleb Minter from Bolivar, Tennessee, and now reside here in LA. I'm an R&B artist that, so I'm just out here hustling, trying to make it happen, making it happen.
I love that. And I love that you're from Tennessee too, in LA, because I feel like we had a whole little network for 1 minute. It was like everybody from West Tennessee moved to LA, and we both went to college together. For those that don't know, Middle Tennessee State University in Murfreesboro. Shout out to MC. I feel like I'm probably biased, but like literally I've met some of the dopest artists and just creative people coming from their school. So shameless plug, shout out to MT. But I want to just talk about your transition, how you got from Tennessee. I know you went to Atlanta for a period of time. You were part of Sunday Service with Kanye West, and now you're in LA. So talk to us about that transition and how you got to where you are now.
Okay, cool. Yeah, so, after graduation at MTSU, I moved to Atlanta. I thought, I got my degree in public health. So I thought I was going to be in the health field. I thought that's what, of course, because I love to help people. But then my brother was murdered. So that started my artistry, because I've always like saying, I did talent shows and stuff, but I never really saw myself as an artist or doing it full time. So after my brother was murdered, I started this movement, Men and Mothers Against Gun Violence Unity Movement, which started my career. So in my hometown, Bolivar, Tennessee, in the surrounding areas, Memphis, Jackson, I would host events and educate about gun violence while bringing live music. So that was really, because I mean, honestly, I'm not the person that I don't have to be in the front. I've always been I'm real chill. I'm not that dude. But, after he was murdered, that forced me to take the lead and just say something, give people my story. And also while trying to inspire and help others that may go through it in the future or have. So after that, I went to, in Atlanta, I started after I started the movement, I really started to, take it seriously. I started managing a corporate band. So I was lead singing and managing a corporate band at Nashville. So I was driving back and forth every weekend, just about for different gigs. And then I got this audition for Kanye and the Sunday Service. I flew out to LA came back. I didn't hear anything for like a month or two. And they called me one day and was like, can you be in rehearsal the next day? And I was like, what?
What? That's show business.
Yeah, show business for sure. So, I was like, let me make a few calls, because I had a few gigs lined up. I canceled those and got the flight and was in rehearsal the next day. And it seemed like I've been here ever since.
That's awesome. And I wanted you to talk about that, because I feel like there's this whole sort of, I don't want to call it a fantasy, but almost a fantasy of like when people see that people have up and moved to places like LA and New York, and they look at it as like a big come up or a big win, but they don't know the trajectory of like how you got there and all the hard work and the sacrifice and the hustling that it takes to live in a city like LA, which is like incredibly expensive.
Incredibly expensive. Yeah. I mean, even like coming back and forth, because I had a few friends. I got a cousin out here, but like I really didn't have. I don't have family out here, to be real. So I'm doing it all myself. But like it's definitely a hustle. I'm always trying to look for gigs. I'm always looking for the next come up. I street perform. I do just anything to really get my music out and really make a living. But like, even when I was coming back and forth for rehearsal, I didn't, like, a lot of times I slept in my rental car. Like, but I made sure, I was like, if I had nothing else, because I mean, of course you might have friends, the people that say, you can stay here, it's cool. But after a while, they're gonna be like, nigga, you gotta go. Like, bro, you gotta go. So I said to myself, like, even if I had somebody to say I can stay here, I always wanted to have a rental car just in case. Like that day, I want to just give them that space. I always had a rental car to sleep in. But after that, I was like, look, if this is where I want to be, if this, I'm trusting God. I'm like, look, He'll make a way. I found my first studio last October. Got my studio like downtown. And yeah, it's just been working. That's how I know God put me here. Because a lot of times I feel like we try to. Sorry, my dog.
It's okay. We love dogs.
Little Grammy. That's my boy Grammy.
Hey, Grammy.
But yeah, I feel like a lot of times we try to force things, which sometimes work, but a lot of times don't. Mm-hmm. But I feel like when God really, that's where you're supposed to, He'll like really make a way to things to just open up. And like with Sunday service, like I was gone and traveling every week, which, gave me that financial stability. It gave me that home away from home with the other members. So that helped out a lot. And, since COVID, we haven't been performing. So, from there, I was able to do the show, I Can See Your Voice. Mm-hmm. And what's crazy, I found that show on Craigslist.
What?
And like
Craigslist.
And that's the thing, like, I feel like a lot of times we as artists, or we look at like opportunities like, I don't know if I want to look there because it may not be legit, but you just never know how God can set you up. Like I was just looking for opportunities, and it says something, I'm looking for singers. And I'm like, I'm a singer, I'm saying, contact this email. I'm a singer. I reached out to them, sent some videos in, and they liked me. And from there, it just started moving quick, and that has opened up a lot of doors. Yeah.
Okay, so since you brought up the show, I want to stay there for a minute. Okay. So one, how did the chef persona though come about? I definitely wanted to ask you, are you really a chef, or is that just Hollywood?
No. That was my first job actually. I was a cook.
Okay.
So yeah, they saw these dogs, see other dogs. So they took that and just kind of put it a part of my storyline. Mm-hmm. So, but that was my first job. So I do cook. I cook a little bit,
Okay, you never know who's watching this. Somebody probably gonna be in your DMs after this.
Hey, for real. I can do a little something for real. I like to cook. I've been definitely doing more cooking since this COVID. Mm-hmm. Been doing a lot. Yeah, so it's been cool.
Okay, so staying on the show, I gotta ask this too.
Okay.
Help me say her name because I want to say it right.
Siley.
Yeah. So have you and Siley stayed in touch with each other?
Yeah, for sure. That's my girl. She's cool.
Cool. All right. Yeah. I'm gonna leave it there. I'm gonna read between the lines.
Yeah, she's cool.
I want to go back to something that you said too about opportunities and looking on Craigslist to find an opportunity for I Can See Your Voice. Because I think that's super important. We were talking about everybody sort of fantasizes about the dream, but and I think a lot of it has to do with social media because people often post their wins but not their L's. I don't see people posting them sleeping in their car on social media. We just see the good stuff, and that's cool. Because there's branding, there's all those things to take into account. But I think it's important too to have conversations like this so that there's a realistic approach to it. Because everybody is not made to do what you did. And that goes into one, trusting God if you're a believer, because He will set you up. And that goes into timing. Because sometimes you could be the right person at the wrong time. You know what I'm saying? And that opportunity is not for you. And for a lot of people, they get discouraged by that. They're like, another door closing. But it's like, that opportunity, it just wasn't the right time.
Exactly.
So as an artist, you have to keep putting yourself out. That's an artist all the time. I have a lot of people come to me and they're like, can you manage me? And I'm always like, no. And it's like, not to be a jerk about it.
Yeah.
But it's more so of like, you have to give me something to manage. And if you're sitting on music, you're sitting on beats, or you're sitting on your talent, whatever that may be, because it's not perfect, or you don't think it's going to capture the response that you're hoping from social media or whoever, it's like you're gonna be waiting for the rest of your life trying to get this validation that you're seeking. You just gotta go for it. And if it's for you, it's for you. So I just want to tap into that and sort of get your take on that and what you can tell other artists such as yourself to stay inspired and to stay motivated.
For sure. I would say, because I honestly, I feel like a new artist. I feel like my career actually just starting, honestly. Mm-hmm. And I feel like the reason is because honestly, I wasn't ready. I was afraid. I doubted. I wasn't prepared because I didn't prepare like I feel like I should have. But now I feel more equipped than ever. It's definitely a journey. And I also feel too, of course we want it, we wanted all of that. But I feel like I've heard before, like I watch a lot of Oprah, Michael Beckwith, I listen to a lot of podcasts, but it's like, if you're not ready for that energy, or you're not in that place, you'll lose it. You'll lose it. And I don't want to lose anything that I feel like, God has set me up for. I want to be prepared. And I'm okay with this journey. I'm enjoying every moment, to be real. Yeah, I'm really enjoying it. But yeah, I think it's very important, like you said, to have things. You got to have a product. If you don't have a product, what we doing? You can't sell it, you can't market it, you can't do nothing. You can't make no money, you can't do nothing. Like, I don't know how, you say you want to sing, but where's your material? What have you done? What are you doing?
Period.
So yeah, it's definitely important. Period. For real. So it's definitely important to, like you said, invest in yourself, invest in your craft, and really have things to show.
Definitely. Yeah. And two, I want to put out there that everybody thinks you have to have a lot of money to do that. You really don't. You don't. And also utilize the resources that are in front of you. Like for me, one thing about me, and I know that you know this about me because you know me and anybody else that knows me, I'm somebody that I like to put other people on if I can. If I got it, you got it. That's just, I've always been that way. And so instead of me like looking near and far, I got to go talk to Megan Thee Stallion. Megan Thee Stallion is not accessible to me. She does not know me. I probably will never know Megan Thee Stallion. And I'm a big fan of her, and that's okay. But it's like, why am I looking to those people to have conversations like this when there's so much talent around me that I do have access to, and we can help each other? And I feel like that situation applies to artists who are new in the game or established in the game. It's like network across. I can't emphasize that enough, that there's always somebody. There's a producer right now who's probably looking for an artist. So it's like there's not an excuse, you know what I mean? Like, if you're somebody who likes to sing and you don't have any beats, I guarantee you, get on YouTube, get on SoundCloud. Like, there are so many places that you can go. There's Facebook groups that you can go to. Get on there, put yourself out there and be like, hey, I'm a singer. Here's a video of me singing. I'm looking for a producer who's down to work. It literally can be that simple.
For real.
It can. Like you said, B, I would have never thought to look on Craigslist. Like, Craigslist for me is so creepy. But opportunity came out of that.
Yeah. And I think too, when you, like, honestly, you got to be in a place where you got to be genuine in your wants, even your askings. You know what I'm saying? You saying, God, like, I really want this. You got to be sincere in that. And I feel like when you do, that's when he'll present the opportunities. Like, they'll come for you and they'll be for you. Nothing you even gotta like do the most for. Like, he opened that door and you just walk through it. And that's what I feel like since I moved to LA, that's what has happened. Like, even like I said, I bought a system. I'm new to LA, but like I'm saying, like, I get my energy from performing. So I go out to the streets. Since COVID, like, I've done shows out, just to have the homeless to come to say, like, this is what we need. Like, we never get anything like this. Thank you so much. Like, God bless you. Like, that means so much more than a lot of this fake stuff that's social media. People that come to you about that's not even real. Right. Like, that's what's really important to me. Like, giving people that encouragement, that inspiration that they need, you know, that they really look for, you know, that they can't get from stuff that's not accessible to them. You know what I'm saying? So yeah. So I'm just, you know, I'm working on a few things. I'm excited.
That's beautiful. I wanted to go back to something that you've been dropping so many gems. I'm like trying to process them all so that I can remember them and go back. But you talked about preparedness, and I want to stay on that for a minute because I've even witnessed that. Like that's happened to me in my career. Also working in the music industry is sometimes you can want something so bad and you can feel like, I know for me at least, I'll give you a quick little anecdote. So when I first graduated from MTSU, I had it in my mind, I want to go work at a record label. That's what I wanted to do. I always knew I wanted to work in the music industry. So I'm over here applying left and right, couldn't get hired. So I'm like, I'm watching people around me get hired. You know what I'm saying? So now I'm looking at like, yo, God, what's up? Like, what's up with me? You know what I mean? Like, we went to the same school. My resume might even be a little nicer than their resume, just keeping it 100, at least to me. That was my ego. But, you know, I wasn't ready. And then finally, I got an internship opportunity after I graduated, which doesn't happen. They took a chance on me and I blew it. Completely blew it. It was in publishing, music publishing, which is what I do now, which is funny. It was in publishing, blew it, hated it, didn't take it serious, even quit the internship early. Like quit it a few weeks before it was supposed to end. And to this day, I feel like because I didn't take it serious, I didn't make the connections, I didn't, you know what I mean? Like there were so many things that I could have done that I didn't do that it hindered my career. And now that I'm about to be 30, I finally just now got my foot in the door. You know what I'm saying? And the irony is the same thing that I was doing at that internship is what I do now.
Wow.
So it was like a full circle moment where God was like, you really could have been where you wanted to be by now. And I gave it to you and you blew it. Like you weren't ready for it. So now I'm going to put you back in a position. That's how I left LA. I got laid off in LA. And this position came open and I was like, I just got here. I'm not going backwards, moving back to Tennessee.
Yeah.
What do you mean?
Right.
And here I am back in Tennessee.
There you go, right.
And I love it. I'm so happy. Best company I've ever worked for. So that's just a situation, pretty much what you were talking about not being ready, that anybody can take away from. Like sometimes God will pacify us. He'll pacify us. He'll be like, all right.
That's real.
All right, let's see. You think you're ready for this? Let's see. And he'll give it to you. Exactly. And it's up to you to fumble or make the play. That's a little sports reference. I do watch sports.
Hey, there you go. Right. Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, you know, and keeping it 100, I fumbled a lot of times. So I just want to get into like any fumbles that you've had that you're willing to share and like how you recovered.
Oh yeah. I feel like even I'm trying to think like the most recent. I'm even talking about Sunday service. You know, since that's like the latest big group that I was a part of. I feel like I ain't gonna say I don't feel like I made the right connection. I feel like I didn't take advantage of every person or every network experience I could have had with everyone, because it's 1,000 people in the Sunday service. Like it's 150 singers. So I mean, it's something that I do. I mean, of course we're all cordial, but of course people that we kind of navigate to certain people or certain groups or whatever. But I feel like I haven't I really didn't take full advantage taking, just networking with everyone, because of how I perceive them or how others, you know what I'm saying, or how they acted, Yeah. And I didn't really take that time to really get to know some people. So I feel like that was one of my fumbles. Another one is, let's see. I don't know. I feel like even with, some things, I just know I could have done better. Even at performing, even, some contests I've been a part of. I'm in a contest right now, actually. So if you're available, Wednesdays, one year from 112. I mean, for boys to men.
Boys to men, yeah.
he's doing a contest on Instagram.
Okay.
So I'm a part of that. It's like it started off with 64 people, but now it's down like half of that. But yeah, I'll tell you the next time we perform.
Please.
But it's some great, like him and his wife are so they're so dope. Like even with the prizes, they got like first place is like 2,000 with you doing a record with him. You go to Vegas and for a writing camp.
Wow.
Releasing like second place is 1,000. You get to post do a one Wednesdays with him. And third place is 500, and you get to post whatever thing you want on his page. So I mean, like it's a win for anybody, you know, that's a part. So yeah, I'm doing that.
But what's the contest? Is it like you have to post videos of you singing? Like what are the details? So
we go live. We go live with one year on Wednesdays.
Oh wow!
And you actually you compete against. So he pairs us, and you compete each round. So two people are competing against each other. So you win that round or lose, and that's how you continue on in the contest. So
that's
it's like
crazy.
The Voice, but like on IG. Yeah. So it's cool. I performed like maybe a week ago now, and it should be on my page and on his page. So yeah. But yeah, doing that. I'm writing a book, children's book that'll be out in a few months. Yeah,
you have a name for it already? Tell us more about that.
Yeah, it's called Dear Black Child.
Dear Black Child. Okay.
Yep. And I feel like, you know, for me, speaking for myself, I didn't have anything tangible that looked like me in my hands as a child. And since my brother was murdered, and he has a daughter, she just turned 10 years old. So I do a lot for her. I'm really big and just trying to be the best inspiration and encourager for her. So I'm like, you know, I want to create a legacy that she can look at and like, oh, that's me. So she has a character that's, you know, created after her and my brother. So it's it's for children, affirmations, just to encourage the Black child.
That's beautiful. Do you know how you're gonna publish it yet?
Not necessarily yet. I'm still working on everything. We're still in the process of just creating everything to create this masterpiece. So I mean, if you have some tips, you know, we'll definitely talk.
I'm gonna text you. We'll talk about it. Because I'm gonna send some people your way. Send people's way to some literary people I know.
Cool. I would greatly appreciate that. So yeah, I got the cover. So yeah, I'll send it to you to get your feedback.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I got you. I know some people plug you into.
Dope.
Yeah. So what about any musical projects do you have coming out?
Yeah, for sure. You know, like maybe 5 months ago, I released my first EP called It's On You. That's available in all digital stores. I'm working on a new EP that's like, honestly, I feel like this is my real introduction to the world. So I'm really, really, really excited about it. It's some real, like, it's personal, you know, it's very, what's the word? I'm trying to be transparent in my music so people can really get to know who Caleb is as an artist and also as a person. So just really working with some really dope people, working with this guy, Christopher Davis, that's really dope here in LA. Adam, he's from Houston. So we've been really putting in work. We got about 6 records right now.
Okay.
So yeah. So I'm excited.
Yeah. And when do you think that's gonna come out? Just so we can
it'll be for sure. No, I think it'll probably be done in the next month and a half.
Okay.
So I just really want to package everything first. Even any videos, I want to get everything first. But I'm saying the next 2-3 months it'll be out.
Dope.
But yeah, stay tuned. It's some fire. I give you some previews. Just you know.
Please do. So I need the exclusives.
Definitely. Yeah. I want because I love to hear people like you that has that expertise that know good music. And so yeah, I would love to get your feedback. I
would love to listen. So
yeah, okay.
Yeah,
cool. I'll text you. Yeah. I'll see you some drops when we get off the phone actually.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, we'll wrap up. But this was a great conversation. Honestly, I'm like, it don't even feel like we're doing an interview. I'm just like, this is just conversations with friends. But
sure.
that's really what it is. So do you have any last words? I don't like saying last words. That just sounds so morbid. But but you know, it basically any last bit of advice, I would say, maybe that's a better way to word it for anybody aspiring.
For sure, I would just say my advice is to look into you. You know, not necessarily into nothing else. I feel like that stagnates the process, honestly. Looking to social media, of course, you have your people that you aspire to be like in some way, but at the same time, nothing's like you. So I would just say, look into you.
That's perfect. That's a perfect way to sum it up. Be transparent, look into you. I like that. Well, tell everyone where they can keep up with you on social media.
You can find me at calebmentormusic.com. My Instagram is calebmentormusic. My Twitter is calebmentor. Facebook, calebmentormusic.
See, you know what? That right there, people take that for granted, but artists, that's a tip that I'm giving to you. Make it easy for people to find you. If you got one Twitter handle that's different from your IG handle, that's different from your Facebook, make it all match. That's a healthy tip. Sure. Make it match. Yeah.
So thank you so much for having me. It was a great honor and pleasure speaking to you. I've watched you over the years, and I'm like, dang, she would be my manager, But I will.
I got you. I got you. We can talk about it.
So definitely. I think your journey has been dope, really good, really dope. I mean, especially coming from Tennessee, from Memphis. It's always a pleasure to see us do what we love and do it well. So,
I appreciate that.
Yeah, for sure.
Appreciate that. Well, thank you so much for your time, for talking to us. For everybody watching, if you like this episode, hopefully you did, make sure you hit that subscribe button, comment. Definitely go follow Caleb on cross social media. I'll put his info in the description box, and we'll see you on the next episode.
Cool. Thank you. Peace.
Just give